What did you get out of this off-season program and the minicamp?
Yeah, I mean, phase 1, phase 2 coming in. Always want to be out there to kind of get back going, doing football movements, being with the guys. And then phase 3, this time of year, every year has always been, I've dealt with knee stuff where I've gotten PRP in both knees to kind of settle those in. This was the best that they felt in my career, so I didn't even have to do that this year. But it was kind of just a matter of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's no need for me to go out there and I don't know, just tear it up when I'm feeling good. So it's a good opportunity for me to kind of coach the young guys up, be out there, bring the juice, bring the energy, and just learn from afar.
Why are you even here? Are you here because you're?
I mean, that's the thing nowadays. I just don't show up. But no, I mean, this is my home. First of all, I made this my home. I have a house here. I train here year round in this building on that field. With the strength and conditioning staff, I feel like they're the best at what they do. They've gotten me right and ready to go every single year. So I'm like, I don't know any different. And so it'd be kind of silly for me to, intentfully go somewhere else when OTAs start. Like, I'm here. I want to be a part of the team. When we get started in phase 1, 2, and 3, and that's just what I've always known.
Why do you think it feels so good now?
I don't know, man. It's just aging like fine wine, really. I take pride in taking care of my body, right? I think a big part of it is just always being curious. Just always looking for what new ways to recover and get better. As you go, you kind of learn different things of how to recover, how to take care of your body, right? So that's kind of been helpful, and yeah, I think it's just the best I felt.
How are you supporting Drake in his recovery?
Just being there for him, really. Kind of checking in with him every day. He's around. He's rehabbing hard. He's in the meetings with us still. Just kind of checking in with him, seeing how he's doing, and making sure he still is involved, because I know it gets lonely. When you're rehabbing a serious injury like that, you're not as involved with the team. But I mean, he's very much obviously still a huge part of what we do. Just obviously got to get healthy.
Yesterday, you were in the back of the end zone. I think Robert Beal had an interception, and Drake came running out of the
D Winners.
Or it was D?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
And Drake came running out onto the field. Do you ever have to go like, okay, dude?
Slow down, buddy. Yeah. No, I mean, that's just him. We get excited for, whenever an LB makes a play, and to have him out there yesterday, that was fun. Yeah.
Which of the young linebackers impresses you the most? You got 3 of them.
Yeah, I think D's probably had the best OTA out of anybody on the team. I feel like he's come along since last year. I remember he came in as a rookie, was struggling to learn the plays and trying to get in shape and all those little things that you got to learn as a professional. And has come in this year and just been on it, making plays left and right. He came in great shape this OTA, and so he set himself up to have a great training camp. He's going to train hard this kind of summer training and have a chance.
You're in the back of the end zone. Guys were catch shots and throwing the ball at you.
Yeah.
I know that you took really aggressive, pretty aggressive ball.
It could have been more aggressive, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have called it that very aggressive, actually.
By talking trash to them?
Yeah, so what happened was, I mean, that whole beginning of the period, they probably went 0-5, to start the period. Brock couldn't complete a pass. I'm yapping from the back. The tight ends hear it, of course. And so, kudos to them. They had about 3 plays back to back. Tight ends catching the ball in the end zone, and they all wanted to toss the ball to old Freddie. And it's just all good fun. I love the competitive atmosphere. That's what we're all trying to get out of this. So.
You've had a few weeks now in all 3 phases to sort of observe this dynamic where you have a first-time defensive coordinator and then another defensive staff member who's been a head coach and a defensive coordinator working with him. What have you seen with that dynamic?
I think it's been fluid. I feel like Nick he was born for this role. He's a natural born leader. We've seen that from the last few years of him doing the ball meeting in front of the team. Just the juice, the energy that he brings. He's always well prepared. And he has a standard, that he wants to continue to push for us as a defense. And so I think he's been doing a great job. And Coach Staley's been awesome as well. I mean, I love just picking his brain and being able to talk things with him, learning just little things, nuances of the game. And he's not afraid to call me out when we're in meetings and he sees a play at me where I'm not all the way on it. And he's like, from last season, he's like, come on, Fred. I mean, hey, we got to get that, get that better for next time, like little things like that. So I got a lot of respect for obviously both coaches. I think it's been great.
When Kyle hired Nick, he said that one of the things he wanted to do was kind of get back to what made you guys with D'Amico and Robert. How has that kind of shown up, at least from what you've seen so far, in terms of getting back to that, whether it's schematic or even just energy or things like that?
Yeah, I think the thing that we've always prided ourselves on is the style at which we play, right? Like you can talk about scheme all day long of, trying to shore up the little things and the details of how we operate in our scheme. But, I mean, style has got to show through and through every single play. And so, obviously, right now, OTAs, we can't show off that physicality and violence that we play with. But, I mean, the effort part has been something that we've harped on from the beginning of OTAs. And I've loved seeing the guys coming out of the stack, everybody running to the football. I mean, that's the standard. It's always been the standard, but you have to be reminded of that every single year or else it does fade, if it's not continue to be a area of focus. So I think everybody's going in the right direction right now.
Because you've been able to obviously observe a lot. But I don't know, you're like, dude, he's a wide receiver. Why are you asking me this? But, I mean, has Pearsall opened your eyes in any way, whether just the way he carries himself or what he's doing out there?
Yeah, I think he's carried himself really well. I mean, there's a reason why he was drafted in the first round. Usually you get drafted that high because you got a lot of ability and you're built of the right stuff. I didn't know what the rankings was of the receivers coming out or anything. I always I give out all the rookies a chance to prove themselves, and you're not really going to prove much in OTA when you're in short and t-shirt, but I really like what I've seen in terms of just how he's operated around the building, going up to guys and shaking their hand, looking them in the eye. Hey man, I'm Ricky, nice to meet you. Like little stuff like that goes a long way, but obviously the stuff on the field is going to continue to progress. He can obviously run fast, he can run really good routes, can catch the ball well. So we'll see, what happens when we throw the pads on.
Fred, you and Jair did some boxing. What's the translatable skill there? How does that help you?
It's something that a buddy of mine, Kai Nakua, who I played with at BYU, and he was here for a little bit a couple years back. He pulled me along to one of his sessions one time a couple years ago, and I really loved it. I felt like it helped me with my cardio, hand-eye coordination, footwork. I think it has allowed me over the last couple of years to really increase my gas tank when I'm out there on the field to go harder for longer, as well as all the other little, hand-eye coordination stuff. So.
How's Devondre gotten on? Obviously, he's pretty happy to be here, but how's he gotten on adapted to the system?
He looks great, man. I think obviously he has that familiarity with the scheme playing in Atlanta. I think, and a seasoned veteran who's played at a high level in this league. So I think he's been great for the room, great for the group. He's looked great in OTAs, so he's got to just continue to keep working on those details heading into training camp.
Last one over here. You mentioned a D earlier. On the other side of the ball, another second-year guy, Braden Willis. Have you noticed? He just seems more active than he was a year ago. Has anything caught your eye about him?
I think he was the first one to throw the ball at me yesterday in the end zone. So that was good to see out of him. Sometimes you want to see a little bit of that fire come out. But I haven't had a lot of opportunities to watch him. But I mean, I know the tight end group as a whole obviously has a great opportunity, or has had a great opportunity as OTAs to really get a lot of the reps, because obviously George being out, Charlie and Dwelly leaving this offseason to Atlanta, I think it's a great opportunity for all those guys to kind of get reps and have an opportunity to increase their role in the offense or in the team, really. Braden, I feel like he's made of the right stuff. He's obviously been working really hard in his flashing moments, so just continuing to progress leading into training camp be big for him.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, guys, appreciate it.
We've had plenty of conversations with the training staff and putting me in the best possible situation to succeed for myself, and then try to help the team as well. So,
Looking back to last year, kind of what was the emotional toll of having the injury and then seeing the team go on to the playoffs and the Super Bowl and not being able to be a part of it?
to me, I think it would be a bad spot for me as a teammate if I wasn't happy for everyone. I think that's when we sat down at the beginning of the year, our goal was to go to the Super Bowl. Was it to win? Yes. Did we come up short? Yes, as well. But for me, it was a spot for me to learn and truly appreciate what it's like to give myself to the teammates as well as a leader, learning, teaching, evolving. I wasn't there for the whole time because I did have my surgery and I was away from the team. But when I came back, it was like, how can I be a bright light, a great resource of teaching guys and understanding different concepts. But we came up short, and our goal is to come back this year with a chip on our shoulder and win the big one. So.
Is it hard for you to be patient about coming back? Obviously you want to be smart about it, but is there part of you that's like, man, I want to get back out? How do you balance that?
Well, as a competitor, I would love to say like I want to be out there right now. As my knee goes, like it's just a slow progression. So, you have to hit the stages and check off the stages and check off the boxes before you move to the next one. But I do wish I was out there right now, and I can't wait to be back out there. I tell the guys that all the time, but being patient is a big part of this process for sure.
What do you know about Nick Sorensen, and what do you like about him as a coach? It seems like he has a lot of support from the players right now.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. It's honestly, coming in, he's been already in the meetings, so it's not like he's just a fresh face, new face. He knows what the system was. He's been in it with D'Amico as well, so he really understands what we're trying to accomplish. Yes, he makes tweaks here and there and knows what we can do, but I think the good thing is his energy too. Like it's very D'Amico style. I'm not saying they're two different coaches, but at the end of the day, it's same system, philosophy, and the way they teach is a very competitive, energetic way, and that's something I appreciate about him for sure.
How do you go about when you can't do everything physically you want to do to get ready for the season? How do you mentally try to get yourself ahead of the game so that when you step on the field next time you're a better player?
The amount of film I watch is, I'd probably say, second to none. That's one thing I just pride myself on is just, I wasn't the most athletic person, so being one step ahead in the film wise and on the field, it's all a mental game to me. So really just taking all these reps that these guys are getting, put myself in the position, what I would do different, what I would do to emulate some other guys that have made great plays during camp. I've watched George Odom go out there, Jair Brown, like the plays that they make, how can I make those plays? Or how can I learn from their game? Or how would I change some stuff? But for me, it's just being a student of the game and really learning and evolving and trying to be the best version of myself to help this team. So.
You've been able to add more upper body strength, even though you're obviously rehabbing the knee. You have more of an opportunity to work some of that?
Definitely. I say I try. I'm not trying to be too bulky to where I can't run around, like I said. So, I've actually maintained my weight. I think that's the biggest thing is I play heavier, so I'm natural. Like a lot of safeties are probably like that 215 and under. I probably play around like 217, 218. And sometimes I play higher than that or actually a lot lower. So to me, it's just a chance to stay in shape. I got to still get in shape. I can't come in here and tell you guys I'm running around yet. I'm still working on that. So, but trying my best for sure.
How does watching up close and then so much film impact how you see the value of what you bring? Does it change at all? Do you get a better vision of how important it is what you do?
Well, definitely, you learn all the mistakes that, when you watch guys do it the right way, or you put yourselves in spots to learn from other safeties. It doesn't have to be in our system too. I think a lot of people will go watch guys in our system or watch me, for instance. There's no need to watch me if there's other guys that are playing and doing higher level things across the board. I watch Antoine Winfield, Derwin James, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Like you're taking all their great attributes, and your goal is to put it into a player on your team. And so, learning how to be more patient and keying your run pass keys versus just like trying to play the call or playing the concept. It takes all that, and some guys do it good, some guys don't do it great. At all. So it's just learning and trying to put that into my game for sure.
You and Jay, you were watching at the back of the end zone with John Lynch, watching a few snaps. What's that like to be able to just sit back there and, chop it up and watch the practice? Well,
for me, first and foremost, it's awesome just because you have a Hall of Fame safety that's our general manager. Like, anytime you have a question, you just go to him. Like, you got to learn from him. You got to be a sponge and absorb much knowledge. I think the cool thing is seeing Jair come along with it too, because he's understanding like who our GM really is. Like he understands ball. He's played at a high level, and then. Cool thing, I really went back and I try to find like all the snaps that I played with Tig. Not saying Tig is, I might not, my goal is to be a starter. And a lot of people just automatically assume, this year that like you're going to be a starter. My goal is to be a starter every year. That's a mindset, but you have to earn it. And so I'm in a position where I'm coming off injury. It's not just earned, so or it's not given. I have to earn it as well. But I'll go watch the plays with me and Tig and see how we work together. We've only had limited snaps preseason or a couple in the regular season, but it was something that I want to know how Tig thinks, how he looks at stuff. So it's really cool that he came back there today and watched and kind of looking at how we would see things on the field. So.
And what have you seen from Jair's development over the last year?
Oh, amazing. For a guy to come in as a rookie and the the light is never too bright for him. You know, I think what he did in the Super Bowl and what he did leading up into that, it's just been amazing. So.
Talanoa, what do you see in Mustafa, the rookie?
Beefy, man. That dude is just like outlift everyone. It's like he's like a mini Dre. That how they just walk around with this presence, but twitchy, athletic, smart, and a guy that's really just about his business and gets things done. So.
When you are back there with John after individual plays, does John notice something and point something out to you that kind of furthers your education as a safety during practice?
I think it goes both ways. For me, it's like I'm learning because, as a GM, you have to know both sides. You have to know the offense and the defense call, and he's wanted to see where the concepts and where the scheme hits and misplays and where it helps us in our defense. So we will talk about certain stuff, or we'll talk about personnel and different things of how to attack certain coverages and stuff. So as much as I try to just absorb as much knowledge from him, like it's really cool. I think a lot of the time I'll get into a rhythm last year where I'm playing the call versus what he would like to say, being myself and using my vision, being a very instinctual player and not having to rely on a call. And so that was really cool to have like John in my ear teaching me that and knowing what my strengths are and play to them. So my goal is to go back out there and compete and do my best and learn from John and translate it to the field for sure. So
right, thanks,
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Aaron, what's been the emphasis of your off season as far as what areas you're really looking to hone in on and improve on?
I kind of took the first part of the off season and really just focused on getting stronger and getting in shape and faster. And then as OTAs hit, just working on my fundamentals each day.
How strong are you now, Aaron?
I don't know. We'll see.
Trent Williams showed up today from what we saw, obviously. But, I mean, what's it like to have him back, just knowing for another season, and how that helps you?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, Trent's, arguably the best to do it at his position. So it definitely gives an ease of mind that I know that, whatever job, whatever combination we have or whatever job we're doing together, I know that he's going to get his job done. And then just his experience, like just the way he sees the game, picking little things from his brain just to make myself a better player and make us better on the left side.
Your impression's been of Pooney so far?
Pooney's good. He's figuring it out. I mean, it's not an easy offense fundamentally to just kind of walk into, especially from a college locker room. So, there's some stepping stones, but it seems like he's starting to pick it up.
Forster said that he was similar to you in that your college offense, there was not a whole lot of carryover between that and what you do with the 49ers. I mean, have you talked with him at all about that, or at least have you noticed from afar that he's having to kind of find his way because this is so dramatically different?
Yeah, I mean, I think every offensive lineman coming out of college to this offense has a little bit of a learning curve and, just trying to figure out exactly what they're being asked to do. But no, me and Pooney have talked technique, talked offense, and we have a good rapport.
When did you feel like you got this offense?
I feel like it kind of took me a second. I mean, my first year, I started to figure it out towards the back end of the season. And, I probably could have gone in and played some, but, at that point it was getting ready for playoffs and why throw a rookie in, when the line's cohesive already. But I think my second year I started to really figure out the offense and kind of what's being asked of me and how to apply the techniques that we practice.
In retrospect, to have that first year where you basically were just watching and learning, do you think that helped make you a better player?
Yeah, I think it did. Unfortunately I had guys like Dan Brunskill and Lakin Thompson in front of me who, have been doing it for a while. So to see the standard, so to say, be set from those guys was definitely helpful.
What's it like facing Javon Hargrave in practice? How tough is he to block?
He's tough, man. He's tough. He's got great leverage. He's got really good hands, good quickness, and you'd be surprised by his lateral quickness and how he can kind of get on the edge and just push through it. So he's definitely a hard guy to block.
What have you seen from Isaac Alarcon?
Isaac's a good dude, man. He's out there working hard just like the rest of us. Excited to see how training camp goes for him.
Look at Brock Purdy's progress from getting thrown in his first year to this next year, and then now him at OTAs getting a full off season. What's changed about him? Is there anything that's changed or developed or gotten better?
I mean, yeah, it's hard to say from my point of view. He's behind me. But no, I think Brock kind of came in with a certain confidence and kind of swagger that, you see in a leader. And I think he's kind of just started to kind of delve into that the more years he's been at, at the starting quarterback position. But I'm excited to see, what Brock puts out there this year. I think he's really confident. I think he's starting to take, a leadership role. But one thing I've seen from Brock is that his demeanor hasn't changed. As far as his work ethic and the way he comes to work every day, it's been the same from day one when he first got here in OTAs 2 years ago to now.
And as a rookie getting thrown into the starting lineup, it's got to be challenging, but it seems like he had the confidence from then. Do you see that it's even more so?
Yeah.
Solid?
Yeah. I mean, he was confident then, but like he's very confident now, and he's kind of taking a more assertive role in the huddle and in the locker room.
Such a delicate balance to separate business from football when you're a player. I'm curious, you could set yourself up for a pretty good free agent situation after this year. Is that on your mind at all, or is it something you just push to the side?
Yeah, I mean, when it's time to cross that bridge, we'll cross that bridge. I'm just working on, controlling what I can control and coming in and putting good tape out and working hard every day.
Brock's been a little more assertive as a leader in the locker room and the huddle. Can you give us an example? Is there something where it's shown up, even in this?
Hard to give an example. It's just, a feel you get from a guy.
There's 4 rookie offensive linemen now in your room. Do you feel, you're a young player yourself, but do you feel the need to be kind of more of a vocal leader this year because there's so many young guys?
I'm not like a rah-rah type leader, but yeah, I hope the guys with their techniques when we're doing drills and kind of show them at least what I see from my experience and kind of try to bring them along as much as I can, because, at the end of the day, we're only as good as the guys in our room, and like you can't have 5 guys that can do it and then the next group who, aren't going to be able to get it done at a high level. So, we're only as good as our weakest link.
More? If there's any? All right, thanks, man.
Cool. Have a good one.